I'm in the kitchen with Ken Fornataro, and he's going to make us a meal with these amazing koji-inoculated portobello mushrooms.
Right. I'm gonna make you a variation on kasha varnishkas, actually with these incredibly super tasty koji-coated mushrooms.
I grew up on my grandmother's kasha varnishkas, buckwheat groats browned in a pan with egg, then mixed with onions, white button mushrooms, and bow tie noodles. Despite their name, buckwheat groats are not made from wheat, and they're 100% gluten-free. High in protein and essential amino acids, these nutritious kernels are actually a relative of the rhubarb family. They take on a nice nutty flavor when roasted. Today's episode proposes a delicious meal featuring mushrooms cultured 2 ways. A 7-year aged mushroom miso is used to intensify the flavor of spiced lamb chops, which are accompanied by a side of sautéd golden beets. And a dish that is definitely not my grandmother's kasha varnishkas, Chef Ken amps it up with his signature koji-coated portobello mushrooms.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, they smell like truffles, they really do. First thing you can do is to prepare these beets.
Okay.
These beets, aren't they?
Aren't they?
Right. Cut them in half like this.
Look how
And
beautiful.
I know, it's just gorgeous. And then after you scrub them and dry them off, what we're going to do is just go like this.
Make little crescents? Okay. I can do that.
Okay.
All right.
Trim up these scallions as you would any other scallion. Because we're also going to have the walnuts as a garnish. These walnuts have been soaked for 24 hours with a little bit of salt and then rinsed off. For the lamb chops, we're going to trim them up a little. Maybe we'll leave the bone right
That's my favorite part, the marrow bone.
Is that a marrow bone?
It
is, yes.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see how I can do with this beet.
The lamb's going to cook rather quickly. And so what we need to do first is to get our version of the koji mushroom kasha going. And we also want to start sauteing the beets in a very heavy cast iron pot. And then we're going to finish them with a very special ingredient.
Which is?
I'm not going to tell you that yet.
Okay, stay tuned.
You have to wait a minute. And preheat both the pans, right?
Okay, this one.
Ken uses a hot pan to dry toast several ingredients that will be used later to season the lamb.
So what we need to do is to first toast these black peppercorns in this hot cast iron pot. You smell that?
I do. And it's a different aroma than when you use like ground black pepper.
Absolutely,
This has
right?
kind of a much warmer kind of tropical scent to it. That's lovely.
And dump our peppercorns in there. And if we want, you put a little bit of coriander, ground coriander in there. Coriander is another one of those spices that, when toasted, takes on a very citrusy, almost limey taste to it. Now, there's enough heat still in the peppercorns. Smell this.
The pepper and the coriander
that smells
cooking
very
together.
citrusy, right?
Yes.
So, you know what we should do? We should probably put this cinnamon stick in there too, right?
Sure, why not? Yeah, we've got.
We love these blenders. Little things, right? You can do this. Right. So you don't have to worry about anything getting stuck. So wonderful. See our spice mix?
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. That has an aroma. That's
Yeah, right? It's
amazing.
quite amazing. So right before we start to use that pan for something else, we're going to take our walnuts and we're going to put them in our pan that's very hot and toast them. Very careful not to burn them.
Okay.
These are the small touches that make your meal from great to like spectacular.
Wow. Okay, we're adding the wow.
We're going to start simultaneously making both our beets and our kasha.
How much grapeseed oil do you want in here?
Quarter cup if you were
Okay.
measuring, but you know.
Okay, ish.
I'd say.
That's about.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
Put your
okay.
kasha in there. Yeah.
Okay.
And then your pasta. And if you like, you can add a little tiny nib of butter. We added our own cultures to it.
So you made that. You made that butter from heavy
Yes,
cream.
we did.
Wow.
My grandmother actually showed me how to do this.
She taught you how to make cultured butter.
Yes, she did.
I should
So,
stir this. Is
yeah,
that,
keep stirring that. And while you're doing that, we're gonna throw this butter in. All right. And that should take probably about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so
look
these
at that. All right,
walnuts
the
we
butter's
are going to get
melting.
off. Mmm.
Oh, now I smell
so
it. Yeah.
fragrant, right? Look at that. Oh wow, those smell so good. Basically, what you do is you put your nuts in the bowl and you cover them.
Okay, so that's going to keep that wonderful scent
That's right. You
in
want
the
to
bowl.
preserve those odors. All right, so let's use a little bit of olive oil for this pan. A quarter to a third of a cup of oil. We're going to throw our beets in.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's probably enough. We're going to saute those while stirring.
These groats are just starting to toast. Is that good? We want to let them keep going a little, or?
Yes. What we're going to do now is to take our koji mushrooms.
Ah, okay.
We're going to cut them up into pieces. All right, so let's say we're going to do this.
So really like a
And you want
kasha.
to see what it looks like too. Oh, really cool, right?
Oh my goodness.
It's
look at
gorgeous,
that.
isn't it?
Oh wow.
These have the incredibly tasty
Look at
mushroom, which is koji sometimes referred to, growing within the actual mushroom itself.
You actually used a fungus on a
Yes,
fungus.
That's right.
Fungus.
Koji is more of a filamentous fungus,
Okay.
right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, they smell like truffles. They really do.
There's something very earthy
Yeah.
smelling about it too, like even more so than a truffle. Ken showed us how we could make these koji-coated mushrooms in our own home kitchen. Patience is the main ingredient.
Basically, what we did to these gorgeous mushrooms is first we salted them down to remove as much moisture as we could and drain them for 48 hours.
But they're not really dehydrated. They still have some moisture.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things you have to be very careful about. You don't want the inherent moisture to make it damp because the spores are not going to like that, right? So what we do when we're making mushrooms, or when we're making beans as well, is use a substrate such as this well-toasted, finely ground freekeh.
Freekeh is a grain. What kind of grain is it?
It's a green wheat, and we toasted this, so it's going to give it a very distinct flavor as well. We're going to use this two different ways, right?
Okay.
First, we're going to set this aside, and then you're going to dump that.
So this freekeh is really like a heritage wheat.
Yes. You really want the freekeh to almost soak up all the moisture in these mushrooms. We'll probably have to change the cloth that we put on these several times.
Oh, okay, because that's going to continue
That's
to
right.
absorb
Yeah,
humidity.
that's right. They will
Okay.
continue to give off moisture. We're also going to then add our spores.
Okay, so this is the koji.
Right. So this is the spores, and I mix them in with some of the freekeh as well.
Should I sprinkle?
Yes.
And we
All right.
mix it up again?
That's right. Just really like mix it all up, and then we're gonna lay these out on a cloth that has some plastic wrap or some food safe, whatever.
Okay.
And then wrap them up and put them into our inoculator.
After they're dredged and wrapped, the koji-coated mushrooms will spend about 2 days in a temperature and humidity-controlled inoculation chamber. Ken monitors them every few hours, changing cloths when he detects dampness.
So let's throw those into the pan. Ooh la la.
The pasta is getting a little crispy. Is that all right?
That's good.
Okay.
That's what we want.
Okay.
So our beets are progressing nicely. As you can see, they're becoming a little bit translucent looking.
And shiny.
And shiny. Because we have so much retained heat in this pot, what we're going to do very quickly is to take the top to this pan. We're going to put it over it like this and let that sit for about 2-3 minutes.
So they'll sort of steam. Now you still have the heat on? Do you want to leave it on?
Yes, I do
Okay.
want the heat on.
Okay.
We're going to add some room temperature water, a liter, into our kasha.
Why does it have to
And-
be room temperature?
You don't want to slow down the process because if you shocked it with cold water, the starches that are on their way to becoming gelatinized would like seize. Unless you want to firm it up really quickly and stop that process
Right.
and get the proteins to reconnect together, you don't introduce something
Okay,
cold.
so we
we're
want to
gonna add
make that
and
soften
At the same
up.
time, we're also going to add another little nub of butter because we're butter enthusiasts, and you can't add enough culture to your food, right? So
Okay.
we add the butter, right? Stir that a little.
Okay.
Get that butter in there. We're going to add our water
Okay.
and step back a little, Mike.
Okay.
Steam.
Splatter a little.
Right.
Yeah. And
Right.
again.
There you go. All right.
All right.
And then stir that well. We're going to check on our beets.
Okay.
And voila.
Whoa.
You can tell just by pressing, these are definitely softening. I'd say about 5 more minutes actually.
Okay.
I'm going to add a pinch of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon.
To the beets.
To these, yeah. With most sweet things, even with chocolate, adding a pinch of salt to it really helps to elevate the flavor. It just really draws out flavor a lot. Stir them up, we're going to recover it in 3 minutes.
Okay.
Right?
This is thickening nicely. How does it smell?
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Smells like buckwheat.
And remember I told you we're going to have a special ingredient?
Yeah.
Right? We're going to use some roasted hazelnut oil.
Ooh.
For the beets.
Okay, that is special.
Because it balances a little bit of the sweetness out, we're going to add a touch of Aleppo pepper. Very mild pepper,
Yeah.
not overwhelming.
Oh, that sounds great. What does the hazelnut oil do to the beets?
Rounds it out and it gives it more of like a buttery, caramelly-like taste that really just changes the flavor profile of the beet. This is probably going to be like a tablespoon, right?
Okay, but you don't measure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to put the top back on, leave it for a few minutes.
And this is getting really thick.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
That's nice. Okay.
What we're going to do now is to add the scallions in
Oh.
right at the end. We don't want them entirely raw. We're going to add them in. You're going to mix
Stir 'em
those in. Remove that from the heat
Okay.
and cover it. This cold as a stuffing, like let's say a knish, is out of this world.
Oh,
It's also great as dumplings. Unbelievable. We have been, while we've been cooking the beets, also preheating the cover, which is also a stainless, it was also a
Cast iron.
cast iron. That's a skillet, right?
Got that word.
You cook long enough in hot kitchen, it's just awful, right? Lift it off. Ooh la la, that's a
Ooh,
lot
look at
of
all
water,
that
right?
moisture.
And we're gonna wipe this off,
Okay.
okay? Right, and put it directly onto our
Okay.
burner. Using a strainer, we're going to use this highly seasoned oil to saute our lemon.
Wow. Oh, that's going to be fantastic.
I'm going to use that top right now. There you
There
go.
you go.
Just take the plate
It's going to keep it nice and warm.
and keep it nice and warm, right? We have our oil heating up, and what we're going to do is take our lamb, which is at room temperature, which is very important, and we're going to be sprinkling some of our mushroom miso.
Okay. Not surprisingly, Ken makes his own miso. His mushroom miso has been aged for 7 years, then dried and pulverized into a powerfully pungent powder that he uses to initiate the caramelization of the meat.
A little bit of our
Spice blend.
spice blend.
And then you mix it all up. We'll put the teaspoon of oil in.
Right. Check
Okay.
what temperature the oil is. 365 degrees. And we have to be very careful not to burn it. Give me a little sizzle. You don't want to add it all at once because you can dramatically decrease the temperature stewing your lamb more than you're sauteing it. The heat should be rather high. With lamb as thin as this, you're only going to turn it once. As you can see, it's nicely brown.
It's got that Maillard reaction. This is because of the miso.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We made our own sake,
Homebrew.
homebrew, and we have been aging this. It's all the rage in the sake and the drinking world, just to age sake.
Okay, let's see. Wow.
It's magnifique, no? The first step is to remove our lamb from the pan and place it onto our plate. There's already some incredible juices from the lamb in there.
All those juicy brown bits.
Gorgeous, right? That looks gorgeous, doesn't
That's my marrow bone.
it? Right?
I call.
And so that are going to make a wonderful base when we add some of our aged sake. Jack the heat up on that one to reduce it.
As a final step, Ken mounts the sauce with butter. It's turning nice and brown. Look at that.
Right? And as you can see, that's creating this wonderful emulsification.
Yeah, look how thick it gets.
Right?
And adds a pinch of the peppercorn, coriander, and cinnamon spice mix.
Stir that well, and now we need a plate.
Okay.
Voila.
When plating a dish with sauce, pour the sauce on the serving plate before adding the solid ingredients.
Place the lamb on top of the sauce.
Pressure's on here, guys.
Excellent.
This way, the toppings won't get soggy and they'll retain their visual appeal.
And then we're going to garnish the top of our lamb with our walnuts. And voila.
Beautiful.
Take these luscious, lovely, delightful beets. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of level pepper on there. There you go.
Okay. So here comes the kasha.
Like that. A piece of lamb. And
When serving your guests,
some sauce.
you can place the sauce exactly where you want it.
And voila.
That is just beautiful. Well, Ken, you said you've cooked and you've eaten in some of the finest restaurants in the world. I've never seen anything like this though with koji. I mean, would I find a dish like that in Japan, or is this is your house the only place that one can find a dish like that?
Right now, I think it may be. I've never heard of anyone using koji with lamb or to make kasha with it. So.
Well, I'm truly honored to be at your table.
My pleasure.
All right, let's chow down.
Yeah, right.
I get to taste it. Oh my God. It's really tender. There's so much going on. You taste the lamb, but you really taste the sauce that's way beyond the soy sauce flavor. It's
Oh, yeah.
nutty and, oh, it's fantastic. Okay, that's kasha varnishkas on steroids. Amazing. Wow, what a treat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yay. All right, stay tuned for more with Chef Ken.